groundsman here at Chester Boughton Hall, and he's worked tirelessly after yesterday and this morning to get this track ready.
We've actually got Alex Keg. He's going to pop into the box later just to discuss the wicket and explain what's going to happen later in the week as well. So he's going to give us a couple of overs later on just to go through exactly what to expect. So I'm sure some of the captains and coaches will be listening into that. See if they can get an insight into this wicket at Chester.
Just pushed down to mid-on for one as Dada comes in to collect. That, I think, if you're one of the captains and you don't listen to that, you're going to be missing a trick, because Alex Keg, how long has he been the groundsman here for you?
Well, I'm 31 and I'm pretty sure he was here. No, I think it's about 20 years now, a couple of decades, Keggy, but renowned all around the circuit as one of the very, very best groundsmen in the country. I know oppositions always tend to enjoy coming to play here at Chester, and I know as a batsman I'm more than happy to have Alex Keg as my groundsman, so I look forward to hearing from Keggy. And the wicket started well already today. We had this little bit of dew on the ground just like yesterday, so the first I'd say the first hour or so there's a little bit of a advantage for the batting side there. The ball does tend to skid on nicely, and you know it's a little bit dewy and skiddy for the fielders in the outfield, but England were delighted to win the toss and have first use of this wicket this morning.
The first over gone. The skipper Deepak Nicholas into bowl. Wily campaigner.
We saw this yesterday, Wayne, from Nick Compton. He just gives himself 4 or 5 balls to get going. His feet are moving brilliantly as well. Just punch the ball down to long on.
Pushed away. They're going to push hard. Yeah, Lomas wants to. And Compton agrees.
How difficult do you think it will be for the England boys this morning? They finished quite late last night, 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then straight out first game this morning. Do you think there's any stiffness or soreness from any of the players, or are they?
Let's watch Deepak continue. Oh, it's a big shot, big shot. And Tanvir, the umpire, stands his ground. Deepak calls for the review. We'll have a look here. Pitched, I think it's the inside edge, the hot spot. Can we rock and roll that one backwards, please?
Not like us to disagree, Wayne, but I actually think that's a really good decision from the umpire there.
And it's a wide. Yeah, so I can understand why he went up for that. It looked good, but I just think there's a little tickle there. Yeah, so the England boys will be stiff, but I think the stiffness will really come later in the week. They probably haven't had enough time between innings to actually get the stiffness yet, so I think tomorrow is going to be the tough one for them. One of the older sides in the tournament. Oh, what a shot. I'm going to go and say that's the shot of the tournament, Lee. What a shot.
I reckon we're looking at about 80 metres there from Compton. He's just moved his feet beautifully. He's created a little bit of room outside the leg stump there. A lovely flow of the bat. And we'll just watch it back on the replay here. Just skipped inside.
Oh, glorious.
It's one of those shots you see Alex Hales play all the time in the one days with these long levers, and Compton himself has just skipped down and caressed it 80 metres. Very modern cricket shot.
Into the net facilities. No one's booked the net yet for this slot in the morning. That's a surprise. That's been...
Yeah, I'm getting peppered for 2 in the afternoon when everyone's had a nice lunch, but no one fancies the 9 o'clock slot in the morning. But this is an excellent start for England again.
Deepak fires at it, leg stump. Good idea, just probably got a bit frustrated after the great shot from Compton, but I think it's good to mix up his pace a bit there.
It's something that spinners you do see often. They float one up and they try and deceive the batters. You know, Compton wasn't quite to the pitch of the ball, but obviously fantastic hands and a good eye. He's found the boundary quite comfortably, and then the next ball is 10 mile an hour quicker. So it's just being able to hold your nerve there, and hopefully the UAE can find a couple of dots or even a wicket in this over. So Wayne, I'm not completely clued up with the UAE team. Can you go through a few of their players in their squad for me, please?
Pushed away to mid off. Yeah, so they well led by Deepak Nicholas. The team today is Hashim Ahmed, Subu, Bose is sitting out today. Got PJ, Navesh Naidu, Shiraz Khan, Amir Khan. As Compton pulls away, that's a great shot again. Compton looks like he means business this morning.
It's amazing after one game how he's obviously picked up the pace of the wicket, and this is a very, very different Nick Compton from the start of his innings yesterday. He's far more watchful, whereas today he seems to be picking up the line and the length very quickly, and he's been extremely destructive early on here.
Yeah, he was having a look at some of the footage of him batting yesterday. He wasn't happy with a few technical issues, and I think he's addressed them this morning.
Some of the players, speaking to them after the games yesterday, Wayne, were just delighted to be able to watch themselves back on this live stream. It must be a fantastic facility for the players to make any adjustments, and also for friends and family all around the world to be able to follow these games.
That's right. We had a huge amount of coverage yesterday.
That is very, very close.
And Tanvir's given him. They're kept low. They're kept low. You definitely can't complain about the height. I think the only thing that he could we maybe need to look at, Jay, is that clipping leg stump, or is it going down? There's no problem with the height here. That's out. That's hitting leg stump.
I think that's also hit him on the back leg there.
Yeah.
There was no complaints from the batter there. He's wandered off, and I think the UAE bowler, obviously, he's very, very happy with that. It's an amazing celebration. And that brings Jan de Lomas 29 for 1.
So yeah, Navs is hitting the deck hard, yeah. You see Lomas depart. That brings in Haroon Khan. He got 50 not out yesterday. One of the danger players in this England side. On Saturday for his club cricket side, he scored 145. He's in form. He's played a lot of LMS cricket. As we mentioned yesterday, he started off his LMS career for a team called the Special Ones. This is really good from Navs.
See, I think both teams will be relatively happy with this start, Wayne. It's always good to get an early wicket.
Yeah, I think that wicket just brings the game back into the balance.
If they can break this partnership, yesterday both these players retired. I think if they can get one of these guys out in this final over of power play.
Yeah, I think that's important, because these two are what you'd call maybe more the stroke makers, and then they've got Simon Dumlin, who comes in at number 4, and he's a power hitter, but probably a bit early for him to be coming in now. So I think, as you say, if they can get a breakthrough now, it will really get the England camp having to reassess their strategy. So Deepak Nicholas, good all-rounder. He's more known for his batting. He's a very clever bowler as well, though.
So how many franchises or how many teams do we have in the UAE at the moment?
As we just see Compton bring out the reverse sweep, we've got about 10 to 12 teams playing out in Dubai. There's been a bit of a dormant period where we haven't had leagues. We're looking to rebuild it coming up into the October time. We're actually looking for a new manager to get on board and help us bring some impetus to LMS UAE. So if you're watching from the UAE and you want to get involved in our management team, please email hq@lastmanstands.com.
Speaking to quite a few of the franchise managers yesterday, Wayne, there's so many of them that get so much enjoyment out of their roles and setting up these leagues. So definitely an opportunity over in the UAE for someone who fancies taking that opportunity on. Just as there's a missed field in the deep there, Compton hitting the ball extremely hard, and that's taken him to 21 off 8 balls.
Yeah, Compton definitely hitting it more cleanly than yesterday. He still played well yesterday, but he wasn't quite on his game. Today he's in top form, yeah. Everything's coming right out the middle. Oh, that's gone. That's gone. That's plugged. Plugged in the chairman's garden. Ali, can you just explain behind the commentary box the house and all the netting on the windows and how he gets away with it?
We've got the club captain, Chris Fleet, owns the house right behind the bowler's arm here at the far end, and if you ever come to Chester, it's quite a sight. It's got a 30-40 foot glass balcony here, and he's got quite a fabulous orangery in the garden. That's a conservatory for most people's, but they've got netting and all around it because this garden takes an absolute peppering, and Nick Compton is obliged.
It's like Fort Knox here. It's impossible to break a window.
But it's a fantastic facility, and I know a lot of the players that have been here for the first couple of days been looking up thinking I wouldn't mind one of them in my club.
I think if you're going to have a template as a club captain of what you'd want for your house, if you love your cricket, he wakes up and on Sunday morning or Saturday morning he's able to just walk out into his balcony and watch cricket. His son plays for the club as well. Really good young left-arm spinner. Good technique when he's batting. He's able to watch his son play club cricket from his balcony. It's quite unique, that.
I think he must have done really well negotiating that with his wife. There it is. It's not bad at all, that. I'm pretty sure there's quite a few jealous fellas out there. That's my idea of a perfect back garden. But I'll tell you now, as a batsman on a Saturday, there's nothing worse as you're walking off if you haven't scored any, looking up and he's looking across. Quite a daunting sight. But back to this game now, and England have raced to 50 for 1 off 4, striking at 12.5 and over. As Haroon just tickles the ball down to long on and puts the very dangerous Nick Compton back on strike here, looking to retire inside the first 5 overs.
Yeah, well, we saw him do this yesterday. Haroon had 5 from 5, gives himself a chance to get in, and then he goes from there. So this is a good experience shown here. It's actually a good ball and well chipped out to mid-on. As Dada does the fielding, good arm. Well done, Dada. Just pushed out to Dada, who does the fielding again.
So people just starting to trickle in to Chester now, obviously this early game. The benefit is obviously you get your game out of the way and you can enjoy the rest of the day here at Chester.
Slightly miscued, just on the outside edge. Good running from Haroon.
I think that's one thing straight away, Wayne, where teams have picked up from yesterday, where they've realised down towards the canal end that if you push hard, there definitely is a second run.
Yeah, it just drifts away down there.
I genuinely believe that we'll see higher scores here today, Wayne.
You reckon the wicket's going to speed it up?
I just think some of the teams are going to be a little bit more savvy. They've worked out the ground here now, and they've realised that there definitely is more 1s and 2s that were taken yesterday.
This is a great knock so far from Compton, mixing up power play with caresses down the ground. This is how you go about building LMS innings. Nick was actually saying yesterday on commentary in the LMS format, there's actually enough time to build an innings. It's not just a case of coming in like 6-a-side cricket and swinging from first ball. You really need to work out the game plan. Wickets in hand is still an important aspect in LMS because there's only 7 wickets before the last man stands. So you don't want to be losing 4 wickets inside the first 10 overs. It really puts you on the back foot for the second 10.
Deepak Nicholas here, Wayne, has gone for 35 in his 2 overs. It'd be interesting to see if he maybe looks to change the bowling here.
Do you think he will?
I think it'd probably be a good time for a change, but it's going to be...
I think it's Amir Khan. No, Amir Khan. Yeah, this is Amir Khan coming on.
Wearing the 4 of the UAE.
Yeah, he's fairly got a bit of pace about him, Amir.
Straight away, just working the channel, the 4th stump line.
Oh, that's good field in there. Really good cricket. From Deepak out there, the skipper, leading from the front in the field. Center standing, good backing up by PJ there as well. So UAE team boys switched on yet.
They're quite animated in the outfield here, Wayne. We've got Dada out in front of us here. He's really pushing the fielders to make sure there's not that second run.
They've got a good team spirit, UAE, and that's so important on these tours. After every ball you hearing the fielders get behind the bowler. They're all backing up the throws.
Looking back on some of the film last night, Wayne, I think the umpire should be commended for the decision making. There really wasn't many in the whole day which the batters could complain about. Speaking to the umpires after the game as well, they were all making sure that they got the decisions right. They had a bit of fun with them.
Yeah, and they're perfectionists. They're all, they want, like the batsman, if he plays a bad shot, they want to go and look at what they've done wrong. The umpires want to look at footage if they've made a mistake. They're quite harsh on themselves when they do, but they really take pride in their job.
Here comes Amir again. It's a very good ball. That's a thick inside edge, and it should go out to the deep mid-wicket boundary. Just on the umpires, Wayne, obviously we've spoken about franchise managers. We've spoke about if you want to play or sign up. What about if you're an umpire out there who maybe either your playing days are behind you or you're more interested in officiating? How would you get involved in last man stands?
It's a great question, Lee, as we watch Amir come in. So we've got obviously a website. It's a global website, so lastmanstands.com. It's a case of finding your region. So you find your country first and then your region. And then when you get to your region, obviously there's contact details of your local regional manager, and we're always looking out for more umpires. Even if you've never umpired before, or you've just played cricket, as you say, and you're looking to umpire, we're always wanting to increase our number of umpires. It's a tough job umpiring, but it's also rewarding, and it's a chance to be involved in something that's not just local to your area. It's something a bit bigger. Something, the umpires that are involved in here, most of them come from London. So it's also a tour for them.
As Navas comes in. They just seem to have settled a fraction here, the UAE. They've obviously worked out this pitch 1. This has been their first game, obviously playing on pitch 2 yesterday. And they just adjusted the length a little bit now, and they seem to be tailing in just fractionally more into middle and off rather than giving that a little bit of extra room. As Navas comes into Compton.
Good field in there.
Fielder was quite clever there, Wayne. It just
by Hashim. Hashim's a very good fielder. I had the fortune of being on tour with him in Sri Lanka. Really good fielder, good batsman, can bowl a bit of spin as well. So he's one of the better fielders in the UAE team. Good to see Lyden Gibbons, an LMS legend from Australia, joining us on the feed. Lyden, he's known on the LMS circles for his batting at times, but it's more for what he does in the evening and the social side of the game.
Right, there's a chance here into the deep.
Yeah.
And held really well. Haroon Khan there, that came out of nowhere really. He's just been knocking it around very, very sensibly, and then...
I was actually going to say Haroon's playing the right knockout because Compton's getting close to 50. Didn't need to do anything silly. Just needed to obviously Compton's close to retiring.
I think just looking at him there, he's just lost his shape a fraction there. I think that was going to come a little bit straighter. It's come off the outside edge of the bat. It shows how much power Haroon's got, though. It's carried all the way down to the fielder. A very, very comfortable catch. We saw yesterday in a couple of the games, I think the Indians in particular created chances like that and put them down, and it didn't half make a difference to the scoreline. So yes, 60 off 6 overs is a very good start for England, but those 2 wickets is, I think, with Compton about to retire, that could potentially just stem the run flow.
I think it puts the game in balance. It was also good to see Compton aware of the double play. He got halfway down. I don't know if Haroon gave him the shot, but he was aware to get back. The new batsman, Jamie Carter, he batted 6 yesterday, so he's been sent up the order. Maybe, I think it's maybe for what we were saying earlier, Dunning's a hard hitter. I don't think they want him. They don't really need him in this early in the innings. He can score from the outset. So I think Jamie's just going to look to push us around a bit, help Compton to retire.
Even the few balls he faced yesterday, he looked a busy player.
It's a good start.
Straight away busy between the wickets as well.
And good from Compton. Yeah, putting pressure on the field. Really good from Compton, not only with the bat, but the running between the wickets. Jamie had actually basically Jamie had settled for 1, but Compton, as we always taught from youngsters, to push the first one hard, and that's why you get taught that as a youngster.
I'll be interested to see if there's a replay of that, Wayne, because the keeper was very, very excited at the potential of a direct hit there. I think Jamie Carter may have been gone there if the stumps had been broken by that throw.
Clipped up his legs. PJ comes around, one hand, fumble. So Jamie Carter, he actually started his LMS as an umpire. You asked about umpires earlier. He went to Australia, and I think he was in the Newcastle Canberra. I think it was Newcastle, and he was just sort of on a working holiday in Australia, and he got involved as an umpire in the Newcastle League, and then he came back to England, and we did a trip to La Manga where Herschel Gibbs was involved in an event, and he signed up to come and play in Herschel Gibbs' big gun side, and now he's involved in, he runs the LMS Norwich League, so he's involved in LMS on a few fronts, but he's one of the most highly ranked batsmen in England.
Amir just gets Nick Compton to play a miss there. Compton just trying to access that vacant third man boundary. You just mentioned La Manga there, Wayne had the joy of being able to go there 3 seasons ago in the winter after we won a prize after winning a national trophy here at Chester. And I can honestly say what a fabulous place to go and play cricket that is.
Compton goes hard, straight down the ground. This is Bose, not going to get there. This is a really good knock from Compton, marquee player for England.
And he goes to 49, Wayne. I don't think Compton's got the I don't think he's got the luxury, Wayne, to be able to try and hit a 6 here.
Unlucky, Ahmed boy.
Come on, boy. Hashim there, down at mid-off. Bose is actually behind me here, pointing out that I got the name wrong. Sorry, Bose. Sorry, Hashim. That's out.
Right. I've literally just said there, Wayne, that I don't think Nick Compton's got the luxury to do anything overly silly because obviously being able to come back in later on, he's just walked across. I can see his mindset. He's looking to hit it into the vacant fine leg area, but to get out on 49, it's a massive wicket for the UAE. That.
Yeah, I think in the context of the game, if it was the 14th over or around there, then it's a bit different because unlikely to come back. But like you say, there's the wickets in hand, important. Yes. Yeah, this UAE straight back in this game now. Although they're going at 10 and over, they can pick up another wicket. We always say 4 wickets before 10 overs. You're really ahead of the game. The only thing is the run rate England are going at will mean that they can just accumulate for a few overs before giving themselves a launching pad in the last 4 or 5 overs. So I would like to see a replay of that. Always brave for the umpire to be able to give an international player out, but he held his nerve and looked out from here.
I'm going to say that that's smashing into halfway up middle, Wayne.
I thought it was missing leg, missing off and hitting middle as well. So Dunning, the new batsman.
The UAE have got to be sensing an opportunity here, Wayne, to try and get the 4th and the 5th wicket here.
Look at this replay.
Wow. I think that's possibly the outest LBW I've seen for a long time there.
Yeah. So Tanvir, he's given 2, but he's 2 from 2. He's also given 1 not out. So Tanvir's having a great game here. So Hashim comes in. So there's one change to the England lineup. The skipper, Nick Darby Walsh, senior pro, he needs to look after his body. So the new player is David Nielsen Scott, who's played an awful lot of LMS up here in the northwest. Hard-hitting batsman, unorthodox technique, aggressive fast bowler.
I was going to say, you're going on about his batting there, Wayne. I distinctly remember him being a very quick bowler.
Yeah, he's bowling in this format. When he's on his day, he can be destructive, but he sometimes can lose his line and length. But when he's on form, he's a real match winner with the bat and the ball. He's underrated as a batsman. He's got tremendous amount of talent, especially in the shorter form of the game. Just sees the ball, hits the ball, doesn't overcomplicate the game. It's Dada. So Dada, bowling right arm. Would you call that off spin, Bose? Okay, Bose, the 9th man today, is just helping us here in the commentary box.
We saw this yesterday, Wayne, where the spin bowlers who bowled with real pace off did get a little bit of purchase out the wicket, but it's very, very slow. But Dada's settled in here, and I think England have got a bit of a rebuilding job to do here, because they can't afford to lose wickets 4 and 5 before we even change ends here, which obviously for the people who aren't clued up with LMS, that's one of the rules, that after 10 overs we swap ends.
So we've just got a few technical difficulties with the live score coming on. We'll hope to address that, so we'll keep you updated. Score 71 for 3. We're into the 9th over.
So Dada started really well then. It was a really good piece of captaincy that. He's been brought on at just the right time. Obviously Nick Compton going on 49. He probably would have retired obviously anyway if he hadn't have been given out LBW. But all of a sudden we've got Simon Dunning and we've got Jamie Carter out there. Very different players obviously. Simon Dunning yesterday showed that as soon as he got in, he started to hit the ball very crisply. But I can imagine that Jamie Carter's job here is now just probably to anchor this innings for the next 6-7 overs and see where he can take England up to.
I agree. I've still got Blake van der Linde, left-hand batsman, stylish player. He's jabbed away. Carter's running, looking for the 2. Well done from the keeper, good awareness.
So you just see Jamie Carter just taking very little risk at the moment, Wayne, and just rotating the strike and giving Simon Dunning as many balls as he can to get in.
That's correct, yeah. Oh, that's well bowled. That's very well bowled from Amir. Firing it in the block hole. Well dug out by Dunning. So we've got the live score back up here, 74 for 3 of 9.1. Apologise for the slight technical issue. It's great to see so many people tuning in to this game, especially from the UAE.
I know speaking to some people locally to Chester. There's quite a few of them that have got the tab up on the computer in work, Wayne, hoping the boss doesn't walk past. After a blistering start for England, I'd actually be slightly happier if I was the UAE at the moment.
No, definitely. They also head into this end. We've seen more runs scored heading towards the commentary box, haven't we, in the tournament so far?
Yeah, the wind tends to come this way and it is a little bit shorter. But England have slowed down as the ball goes into the air.
Boughton just short of Hashim. Little fumble allows them to go for two. Down in the big man. He's almost followed through into the commentary box here. Took him a while to get the brakes on.
We looked at the past scores yesterday, Wayne, and we set that 180 lineup on this pitch, and we thought that was the competitive score. I think England at the moment are going to have to find a way to potentially kick on.
That's a great shot from Carter. Really good shot. He'll be pleased with that. That's come straight out the middle. Held his shape. So Carter's looking good, yeah. Great hands. Fast hands through the ball. Good bat speed. And Hashim just not quick enough on that occasion to get around to it. So the score is now moves on to, I think it's 78 off the line. Just so I apologise about the technical feed on the live scoring, but we'll keep you updated on the scores after each over, so don't worry about that.
Was the egg McMuffin good, yeah?
Very good.
Champions.
So that's the turnaround. 10 overs gone.
A little wider, I'm going to send here.
Dad has gone straight up the far end here to continue his spell. He started really well in his first over. I think the captains saw the opportunity here to get the experienced Dada into the attack. And Dunning straight away seeing the opportunity to get stuck into that as Dada's took the pace off it. Realised that this is going to be a key part in the game, Dunning, and planted that front foot down the wicket, swung through the line and hit a 6 over wide long on. Not quite as warm as yesterday here at Chester, but I think as the day goes on it could certainly get a fraction warmer. But at the moment it looks like a fantastic surface to bat on. Much better line there from Dada. He's just floated it further outside the off stump. Dunning showing more of a deft touch there as he just manoeuvres the ball through backward a point.
So the score's 89. 10.1 overs bowled. Dada the bowler. Dunning, the big hit in Dunning on strike.
Nice piece of fielding from PJ down on this point boundary then. See there, Wayne, that was a lovely shot from Dunning. That's another 4. I think the captain of the UAE there has just done a little bit of ball following as the 6 from Dunning earlier in the over went far wider. So he's moved his long on round and Dunning's just hit the ball exactly where he had the fielder.
I think Dada is very slow through the air. He's just literally throwing the ball up there. It's turning, but it's slow turn. So Dunning's got a lot of time to pick his spot. I don't know if he needs someone behind square probably with this pace of bowling, but I think Dada has to get the ball right up here. He has to get it right up under Dunning's nose. He can't drop it short at that pace.
I'd imagine Dada would benefit from being able to have a power play field, Wayne.
For sure.
That looked like a leg spinner there. It looked like he'd changed his action there and deceived Dunning with the flight. The umpire was quite firm in his dismissal of that appeal.
I think it was missing leg stump by a comfortable margin there. But Dada, I think, was just relieved that he had managed to get a dot ball there.
Carter on strike, 12 from 7. As Dada comes in.
Carter's gone long. Fielder's under it. It's out. That's the skipper, I think, out there. Deepak. Great hands from the skipper. Deepak.
Carter looks absolutely furious with himself. He was doing a fantastic job for the side, 12 off 7. And Dunning had already took this over for 11. And I think England at the moment are self-destructing. He got himself in a strong position to play it along the floor and then decided at the last moment to try and clear the rope.
I mean, you get taught to, I think Carter will be disappointed when he looks back at that. You know, you get taught to hit with the spin. Dada's floating the ball up outside off stump, but it's spinning in, so trying to hit him over a wide middle into the wind is probably not the best option. And I'm sure Carter will be disappointed about it, but nonetheless, he looked good at the crease. He was hitting the ball nicely, but now this is a rebuilding phase required from the England side.
It's fair to say this now is a real key partnership, isn't it, Wayne? This is Blake van der Linde.
Blake van der Linde and Simon Dunning both play for the AON All-Stars in the London Barnes League. They know each other very well. They've actually both got some South African background. Blake was born and raised in Durban. The score 94 for 4. 11 overs gone.
New bowler here.
It's PJ. PJ, the new bowler. Interesting action.
Dunning straight away going to Blake van der Linde. It looks like he's bowling off the wrong foot here. Which is always tricky if you're a batter. It's a pretty unique action.
It reminds me of a right arm Paul Adams here.
Famous left arm Chinaman from South Africa.
Oh, I think he was going for the man cad there. Just giving him a warning. Van der Linde's going to have to be aware of that now.
Well ball, well ball.
I think it's quite important when you're facing
Push
people.
it two.
When you're facing people who have unique actions, Wayne, to watch the ball. I know it sounds an obvious thing to say, but sometimes you can be put off by all the arm movements and stuff. Sometimes you've just got to focus on the ball, and that's certainly what Dunning did there.
And definitely, and also just give yourself a bit more time. Have a look at 2 or 3 before you do anything. I'm going to be leaving the commentary box shortly, and we're going to be joined by Bose Pratap, the 9th man today.
Well ball.
Bose is a quality cricketer himself. Says a lot about this UAE team to be able to leave someone out like Bose. Good fast bowler, who can hit the ball a mile. So they're using the rotational system. Yeah, I think they've just got 9 in their squad, so they've got to keep everyone involved. So Lee, I'm going to do another 2 more balls, and then I'm going to be leaving the commentary box. But just what's your assessment from here, Lee? Before I leave you, what do you think England will be looking at from here?
Well, just in the last couple of overs, I think they've just realised that losing any more wickets now will be an issue. So I think realistically, Blake and Simon Dunning, obviously they play together for their club, but I think they've also realised that probably they can't really give this away at this stage. So if I was the UAE, I'd be desperately pushing for 1 more wicket. You've mentioned David Scott Nielsen coming into the side. He's got to be nervous on debut today for England.
He would be, but he's not the type of guy that really thinks about it too much. He won't be too nervous. He'll just be thinking he's playing another game of LMS on the back pitch at Port Sunlight. He's that sort of character where he just sees the ball, hits it. He doesn't think too much about the game, and that's actually his strength. You know, he just I wish I could have that attitude sometimes. He doesn't really get nervous. He's one of those characters that unfazed by anything. But he'll be looking forward to it.
Blake van der Linden's just pushed that through into the offside, gets 2, and I think that's the kind of shot there that Blake needs to be utilising in the coming overs there. You know, he can get a lot of 1s and 2s, take a lot of low risk options, and just see if they can get through to 15 overs, see if they can get to about 130, and then give them the opportunity to launch at the end.
Agreed. So I'm going to be leaving you, and you're going to be joined by Bose, and I'll be back with you later in the second innings, Lee.
Cheers, Wayno.
I think so, yeah. It's 12 hours now. 12.
Good morning, Bose.
Good morning.
So as a member of the UAE squad here, are you happy with the start?
Oh, pretty much. I mean, 5 wickets down, 105 on the board. It's really a good place to be in.
I think being able to get rid of Compton before he retires, that must be a real bonus.
Oh, absolutely. If you can pull one more wicket now, then we can really, you know, restrict England for less than 150. That is an ideal target to chase down in this wicket.
Massive appeal there by Dada. Blake van der Linden, we've just been speaking about the game situation. I'm not sure that Blake needs to do that at this precise moment. He tried to play a reverse paddle sweep then, and a massive appeal. The umpires shook it off. Big spin again from Dada. Right smile from Blake van der Linden there. Just for people watching, it's very, very tricky for a right arm off spin bowler to get an LBW bowling over the wicket to a left-hander. Just for the pure reason that they've obviously got to land the ball in line with the stumps, and he can't pitch outside leg. Dada's done very well here, Bose, hasn't he?
Dada is a very experienced campaigner. I mean, he has played in these kind of pitches earlier, and he's a very cunning customer as well. He has got that away-going ball as well, so which makes very difficult for the left armer to face him as well. And he bowls very slow, and the dip is definitely there, which makes the batsman to commit. So once they commit, there is all chance of getting an LBW in the picture if he's going the straighter one.
Well, at the moment he's obviously bowling over the wicket to Blake, and he's just landing it just outside the leg stump and trying to cut out the opportunity to hit it through the offside, using all his experience there. But that's another excellent over. He's only gone for just 17 runs in his 3 overs. That's ideal for you guys.
Oh, absolutely. Fantastic bowling performance so far from the UAE side. I hope they continue the momentum and restrict England below 150.
What was yesterday's game like? It looked like a fantastic game. I was unable to watch it. I was in the comms box here on pitch 1. Apparently it was raining 6s.
It was raining 6s. The straighter boundary and the boundary on the leg side was pretty small, so it was making easy for the batsman to hit it straight and on the leg, which was making very difficult for the fast bowlers to bowl in and get that control. Everything, the best ball was to bowl outside the stump, probably on a Yorker length.
That is a really, really good bit of bowling there by PJ. He celebrates wildly up towards the camera as well. He seems like a real character, Bose.
He is one of those real characters in our team. I mean, very good bowler. I mean, he is very different kind of action. It's very difficult to pick him up and line him up.
Does he actually spin the ball a great deal, or does it tend to skid through?
Even though his action is through his action the ball is coming in, but he's having an away going delivery as well, which is making him lethal in some kind of the kind of surfaces in England. It will be very difficult to line him up to hit him over the covers or hit him straight down the line.
I think with the good weather this week and how dry it is, well, Bose later in the week he could get a little bit of extra purchase and he could be a real handful.
Yesterday, while I was bowling in the other pitch, I mean, it was slow. It was slow. The pitch was kind of slow for the fast bowlers. Yes, there was bounce available, but the ball was not skidding through or something. Maybe in the morning time, it's a different wicket altogether.
Well bowled! Very well
So this is the debutant, David Scott Nielsen. He lives about 15 minutes away. He's also a member of Wayne Grieve LMS Founders Club of a weekend. I played against David on a number of occasions. He's a very, very good player, very quick bowler, but Wayne seems to think that he'll be very unfazed by being on debut today. But he's coming in a very tough time, 110 for 5. You asked for that wicket, Bose, and you got it.
It's a very tricky position for England right now. 6 wicket down, so 5 wickets down.
Well bowled.
In this format, Bose would, at this point with the UAE on top, with the 5 wickets, obviously England on Nelson, 111, would at any point the captain look to bring a fielder into the ring to try and get that final wicket, or do you think it's just about letting England take the risks at the moment?
I don't think it's worth the fielder to be in the circle. Probably, I mean, they should continue what they're doing the best right now. They should keep the fielders in the right positions and try to make the England fielders to work out for the runs.
Who's your premier fielder for the UAE?
We have got a couple of good fielders. Hashim is a very good fielder. Deepak Nicholas on his day is a very good fielder as well.
That was a very, very loose delivery there by PJ. And going for 5 wides, that's a bit of a killer blow there. I feel sorry for the keeper. And he'll be really disappointed because he's done really well that over. And then for that to finish it off like that just means that England have moved on to 119 for 5 off 14. I know you've been talking about this 150 mark, but I think you're going to have to get a few. You're going to have to bowl them out to get them for under 150.
Absolutely.
Van der Linden just hasn't settled at all yet. For me, we've had a couple of attempts at reverse sweeps. Hopefully he just settles for this England side now. Not that I'm biased, Bose.
Oh no.
And as I say that, he's just picked up the ball beautifully there. Lovely swing of the bat through the leg side. Really important for any young players watching at home. If you watch his bat come through from high to low to make sure it stays down, and it fizzes away towards the boundary on the leg side.
Well ball.
Will Dada be phased by batsmen coming at him at all? Was they? Will he worry
Oh, very well bowled, Dada. Very well
as he
bowled.
just rips one past him? I think that could be one of the balls of the tournament. That must have spun about 2 foot.
He is a very difficult bowler to face in. He has got 2 or 3 different kind of actions as well. So that makes him very difficult to pick him.
Van der Linden just adapting his technique there. He played the previous 2 balls off the front foot. The ball had spun past him, so he just was a little bit more patient there. Rocking back onto the back foot, letting the ball spin across him, playing with the spin and punching it out towards the deep cover boundary for 2 more. And they're just starting to gain a little bit of momentum here. Obviously those wides at the end of the over, starting with the boundary at the start of this over, Bose. I do think that the wickets are absolutely vital for this UAE side. As I say that, I think that was a miss stumping. And judging by the wicketkeeper's face as he just runs past us here, Subbu, I think he knows it as well. We're going to have to watch that on replay. There we go. No, he was deep in the crease.
Correct. Probably the keeper was expecting the ball to spin a bit, but the ball kept straight. So he missed the ball completely. It's a misfield. And it can be costly in this kind of situations. 125 for 5 in 14.4 overs. No freebies.
No, and I think at the moment the UAE are just taking the foot off the throat a little bit here and missing a trick. We've had a couple of sloppy little bits of fielding and the first 13 overs they've been exceptional in the field, so hopefully they can lift the levels back up to where they've been previously in the game.
Hashim is bowling now.
Well ball.
Scott Nielsen just punching it down the ground for a single there. So tell me a little bit about the last man stands in the UAE. Wayne tells me that it's in a bit of a transitional period and that we're looking for someone else to maybe take it on.
Yes, there is actually massive potential for the last man stands to be very successful in Middle East, especially because there is a lot of subcontinent people lives there and they love cricket, and it is a great opportunity for those people from the subcontinent to be participated in last man stands, which is a recognized format in cricketing world these days.
So hopefully someone's listening today and gets in touch via the website.
Yes, Wayne is in talk with a few of the people out there to get a managers first, appoint somebody as a manager, regional manager, and from there, get the few more teams added into the existing lineup.
Which team do you play for?
We play for Roaring Lions. We toured Cape Town last time around. We are the current champions from UAE. For the last 2 consecutive years, we are the champions.
Just looking across at the TV pictures at the moment, Bose, for some people in different parts of the world, yesterday I introduced you to what an ice cream van was. Today, this is going to be my new fact. I know in some countries you may not have. These are canal boats, barge boats. Move at my sort of pace, them, Bose.
It looks nice.
It's a floating home. Ideal.
Floating home. Oh.
Very popular in this part of the world. As Van der Linden again executes that punch out to deep at wicket really well. David Scott Nielsen's very quick and he get back for a second.
So 20 more balls to go. We are now looking at a target of around 160 plus, looking at the set batsman.
So this is Hashim.
Hashim is bowling, yes. Hashim is Deepak Nicholas is bowling, the captain.
It's just been updated on the TV for us. Given not out, very slow spin there, so give the opportunity for Van der Linden to get back in his crease. He was given out yesterday with a very, very sharp piece of work by the Scottish keeper, Joe Rose. We watched the replay about 10 times and we still couldn't decide whether it was in or out. The umpire gave it out and off he went. That's exactly the shot that Blake's been looking for. He's played that shot twice in 2 previous overs where he's hit both fielders, and he's absolutely crunched this.
Anything pitching short, I think he's very strong.
Well, I think he's adapted his game against the spinners now. He was going forward early on. He's now starting to sit back just a little bit in the crease. As Deepak just forces the ball there. I think he's obviously so far has not really been his day with the ball. He's conceded 43 runs in just under 3 overs. I'm sure as skipper he won't be happy with that.
Absolutely. Looking at the performance yesterday, he bowled 4 overs for 17 runs and took 3 wickets. And he'll be definitely disappointed with the performance today. But he's a real competitor. I mean, he can really hit the ball a long way as well. He's one of our premium hitters. So definitely he'll come out blazing while batting.
Oh, he's walked.
Oh, yes.
There you go, Bose. You built him up. He'd obviously heard you. And that's a massive wicket for the UAE as the dangerous Blake van der Linde leaves us for 27 off 20 balls. Just watching the replay again. Here he comes in. He's just tried to feather it. Not really got his back foot out towards the ball. That's a really good catch by Subbu as well.
Fantastic catch.
Blake just giving a little bit of advice to the incoming batsman there. Just going to watch this from a slightly different angle here. The keeper did really well there. It's never easy when they're cutting. Kept his hands in a really good place, his eyes level there, and took a fabulous catch.
The keeper Subbu broke his nose last time around in South Africa. So he has improved his keeping.
I thought you were going to say he'd improved his nose then, Bose. A lot of keepers now, as they're growing up, are forced to wear a helmet over in the UK.
Yes.
So you don't tend to see many keepers without the helmet on now. But Subbu did very well then, taking that catch. And that brings in Adil Hussain. I don't know if you saw Adil yesterday bowling.
No, I didn't. I was playing on the other ground.
He bowled extremely well. He got 3 wickets for 4 runs in 3 overs. Bowled quite a short length, and got through a few caught by the keeper as well. So he was one of the star turns yesterday. Plays in Kent.
I think 17.1 overs, 145 for 6, 147 for 6 now. I think UAE will take it.
Yeah, well, we've been saying on this pitch for the whole of yesterday and this morning that 180 is the par score. We saw that in quite a few of the games, and I think the UAE have got to look to take these final 2 wickets. I wouldn't like to see Hussain and Nielsen still at the crease coming into this final over.
It'd be difficult for them to face the spinners if he's coming from the far end.
Hashim comes in. Well, he's extremely unlucky there, the bowler. He actually completely bamboozled the batsman there. Hashim saw that Scott Nielsen had set up for the reverse sweep, so he adjusted his line and oh no, sorry, it was Hussain. And he's actually bottom edged it past the keeper. Very, very frustrating for the bowler because he actually did everything right there, Bose.
Absolutely.
I think he's going to be very unlucky, Subbu here. I think this is going to run away as well. Just not getting the rub of the green here, the UAE in this over.
Yes.
Very, very unlucky. 2 edges, both going for 4. Hashim bowled very well there.
Very valuable runs added to the scoreboard. Now it is past 153. 57 now.
the encouraging sign for the UAE is that it's so unforgiving, the outfield, and you get full value for your runs here at Chester. Just looking down at the scorecard, Bose, obviously the standout score there is marquee player Nick Compton, 49 off 23. But then there's an awful lot of starts there. I think there'll be 3 or 4 players who will be extremely disappointed that they've not kicked on.
Absolutely. If 1 or 2 players scored 50 odd runs and retired, and they could come on later stage, would have been a really deal breaker. But looking at the score and looking at the conditions now, 157 for 6, 18 overs, 10 balls to go. I don't think...
Ball's gone up in the air. Long on's under it. And that's gone through his hands for 6. That could be a massive moment in this game, Bose.
That could be a massive moment. That could make a difference of 20 runs.
So Nicholas has deceived Scott Nielsen. The fielder was just watching the rope there, wasn't he? I think he was worried about carrying the ball over for 6.
He is one of our better fielder, Hashim. Normally he doesn't drop these kind of catches. Not sure what happened over there.
It was certainly a tough chance. Like you said, you're probably expecting him to take that. But it's always difficult when you're right on the rope. You're always worrying about conceding the 6.
1. Oh no, man.
And a fumble as well. So he's managed to almost redeem himself by knocking the stumps over there with a direct hit. But Scott Nielsen had made his ground. But these last couple of overs could really come back to bite the UAE. They've done so well for so long in this game, and all of a sudden it's whether it's just a drop in concentration or a little lift in intensity from England. I think that's a very, very harsh wide by the umpire there, as the batsman had made a very big move early. Bowler tried to adapt, and he's deemed it a wide. These pair are running really well here, Bose.
171 on the board. I think probably England will be happy with around 180-81.
Well, with the opportunity of a home run as well.
Absolutely.
That, you know, obviously dropping that catch there. Nielsen's come in and done exactly what Wayne Greaves said. He's been completely unfazed. He's 21 off 12, and Hussain striking at 318 off 6. So one of these two on strike for that home run ball. It's a massive, massive job for the impressive Amir.
Come on, Amira, come on, Amira.
He bowled brilliantly earlier in the innings. Only went for 16 runs off his 3 overs.
And took the marquee wicket off Nick Compton.
So all in the balance here going into the final 5 balls. Into the wicket. Punched out to point. A little mix up between PJ.
Probably it is a right strategy to bowl wide outside the stump. Make them work for the runs. I think UAE should be happy if we can contend England for around 180 runs.
I think they'd bite their hand off for 180 at this point. Because they're going to go again here. They're going to look for 2. It's going to be close. Fielder did well, but the throw is just fractionally wayward and gives Subbu no chance to take the stumps over there. And Scott Nielsen gets back for another 2.
Nielsen is playing really well.
Yeah, he looks very composed, doesn't he, at the crease here?
Yeah, he's having a very good technique as well.
As we say that, Amir matches him brilliantly with a Yorker just into middle and leg stump. Obviously you could use a power play over here, Amir, Bose. Would
Keep going,
Amir is
Amir. Keep going,
a fast
Amir.
bowling all-rounder. He can hit the ball a long way as well. And hailing from Pakistan originally, I mean, those Yorkers.
He's just tried to force one of those Yorkers in again. He's just over pitched, and Nielsen was a bit fortunate there. He's tried to hit that through extra cover, and it's just made it through back with a point. But the outfielder has another victim as it races away for 4 more.
Yes, it's a lawful toes. It's normally very difficult to get, hit it for a 6. So the best what you can do is to get a boundary on lawful toes.
For viewers watching now, if you've not watched this before, this ball is the last ball of the innings. If he hits this for 6, he gets 12. So he'll be looking to get under this one now. He's gone very full, Amir. He'll be happy with that. They're going to come back for 2. Good chance for a run out for Hussain. He wasn't gathered by the bowler. Through to Subbu. And that concludes the England innings on 182 for 6. Bose, your thoughts on that score?
It is a competitive total. I think anything above 175 will be difficult to chase down. But the batting lineup what we have in this match, we have gone with the power hitters. So we have got 4 or 5 power hitters in the team, and the first 10 overs will decide the winners.
So are we expecting fireworks early on from you boys then?
You can definitely expect fireworks from UAE team.
Fantastic. Well, I think it's really put the game into the balance there. I think after 5 overs we were worrying England were going to run away with it. But then those middle overs, fantastic from the UAE, and then Hussain and Scott Nielsen have done fantastically well to take the team up to 180. So
it's a very good competitive total. England played really well. The bottom half really stuck there. They hit the odd boundaries, they hit the odd sixes, and the 180 score is impressive.
Quite a few of the England players coming up to Hussain and Scott Nielsen after the game there, and congratulating them on their partnership there. I think a couple of the top order batsmen are a bit relieved. I think they've been let off the hook by the lower order there, and they've done a fantastic job. But I'd imagine in last man stands the batting orders, you will have people coming in lower down that do bat higher normally in their club sides.
See, what we have done is that we have selected all-rounders from different teams, and our team, if you look at the numbers from 1 to 7, they are all-rounders. So they can bat, they can bowl as well. So 3 or 4 spinners in the team. Especially we are playing in UAE where the conditions are conducive for spin bowling. The wicket is pretty low.
Well, I do think that this game's well and truly in the balance here. I'm excited to see what the UAE come up with. I know from watching that first game yesterday, I was just put off as the Chester Boughton All under 15 tour bus led by Mike Snape's just gone past, beeping away. Great to see the young players off on a cricket tour. I know you guys are on tour as well. Great to be in a different place to play cricket. Absolutely.
I mean, it's a fantastic place to be in. The weather is nice, the people are nice as well, and the UK is simply amazing. The landscape.
Have you managed to see much of Chester in the first few days you've been here, or are you going to take some time on Wednesday on your day off to see a bit of Chester?
We have done a couple of city tours, and we have plans to do more as well. Probably we'll be going to York, and we'll be exploring. We are having plans to watch Lord's Test match as well, India versus England.
Oh, so that'd be a fabulous day. Have you been to Lord's before?
No. This is the first time, yeah.
I luckily got to play at Lord's last year in it was a corporate event. It wasn't a test match, but it's an amazing place to play, and I'm sure you and your boys will thoroughly enjoy it. And that's probably part of the beauty of Last Man Stands. Obviously you guys have worked really hard to get here and represent your country, but to be able to come over, be on tour, and see some of the world, and this is a beautiful part of the world here at Chester. It must be fantastic.
Thanks a lot.
Bose, I'm going to wish you farewell for now.
Don't go anywhere, the firework is just going to start.
And hopefully I'll catch you second half. Best of luck to you.
Sure.
And here we are for the second half. Adil Hussain opening the bowling. Changed ends from yesterday. I'm joined in the comms box by Ross Keyworth. Kaywood. That's a nightmare start for me, that, especially when I spent half the day with you yesterday. Sorry, Ross.
Morning,
I thought it was a different person because you got a different shirt on today. You had a New Zealand shirt on yesterday. And you've got an England shirt on today. One of your 4 countries that could potentially win the tournament for you.
As I said yesterday, I'm very impartial. Who's ever winning, I'm backing.
Adil had a fantastic day yesterday, didn't he? He bowled fantastically well in that win over Scotland. Got 3 top order wickets, but they've changed him up. The bowling from the other end today, coming in.
The keeper, Aaron Lomas, the England keeper, is never actually kept to a deal, so he was standing up too close to him yesterday and he caught the first ball nearly shoulder height, so he's quick.
Do you know what's really good to see here? England have just got 2 dot balls and they've actually brought a fielder into the ring here, Blake van der Linde. I'm really surprised that more people haven't used this strategy before. They're in the power play.
Yep.
So they've got 4 on the offside.
It's a real good tactic if you can bowl on one side of the wicket.
And Hussain certainly can do that. He seems to have great control. Bose was fascinating to listen to, and he has promised me fireworks from this UAE batting lineup. As
great sight for any fast bowler. Wickets carting all over the ground. Well bowled, Adil.
Just as I give the UAE the big build-up, Bose had promised me a big shot, and here it was, but there was no contact. Stumps everywhere.
What a sight.
Nothing better as a fast bowler that to see the stumps flying all over the place. Never seen that myself, but you know, I'm sure I'd have to loosen the stumps up before I had a bowl. But he does definitely seem like one of the premier quick bowlers on the circuit, Ross.
No, he's really good. He first joined LMS in Manchester about 5 years ago, and now he plays in the Kent franchise. And no, he's a really good guy and a good cricketer.
Some of these UAE batsmen will be under just a little bit of pressure after losing yesterday.
Yep.
But obviously they were pretty close, weren't they, to chasing a massive total from New Zealand?
Yeah, they were about 20 short. So new batsman is Khan. No.
Scott Nielsen, or David Nielsen Scott, coming in for the second over here.
Ooh.
Massive appeal. If the umpire has not given that as a no ball, I'll be very, very surprised that that's missing anything.
Let's hit him full. Can we have a replay, please?
There we go, we're going to get it here now. That's fair to say that that is hitting halfway up middle.
Rock and roll that, please. Tenvia, please change your decision.
Hawkeye has just exploded as the ball would have cannoned into the centre of the middle stump.
Oh, plumb out.
Always tough as an umpire when it's a high full toss, because I think you almost think that the bowler doesn't deserve the wicket in the first place. But
tough game. Next ball he goes for 4 when he should have had a wicket.
it looks like Blake van der Linde is directing traffic out there. Who's the captain today?
He's captain today. Nick W. Walsh is sitting out, so Blake's taken over. It's wide.
The UAE innings just hasn't quite got going here. Dada on strike, who got quite a lot of turn when he was bowling. He was bowling pretty slow, but caused an awful lot of problems when he managed to get it in the right area.
Big shout out to Gavin Buckle. He's watching in Southampton, the LMS legend.
Boss, just to explain to some of the players, as the ball's hit forcefully down towards long arm, Nick Compton dives across, manages just to get a palm on that right in front of us in the comms position here.
Fantastic fielding by Nick Compton.
Set a dangerous standard for the week there, Nick. Moved far better than marquee player Abdul Razak after he batted yesterday.
Big swing down to third man. Canter through for a single. And that's the over. It's a good start for England.
I just get the impression that the UAE are panicking a little bit here.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
They look like they're really trying to force a score early on. They've got to ensure that they've got wickets left to knock this sort of score off.
I think they bat pretty deep, so they've got...
Yeah, Bose had said that they've picked 5 power hitters today, so I think they'll be hopeful that one or two of those guys get in.
Yep. Adil Hussain back into the attack. Well bowled, great length.
Hussain again causing real problems here. This is Rajib Nog batting at the moment for the UAE. He plays for the Roaring Lions. As Hussain comes in again. Dada with a firm drive out to Nielsen, who's just fumbled it in the outfield. They look for a 2.
Never a run on a fumble. Do you agree?
I don't know. I do like a run on a fumble. I think if you're looking for the second run in the first place, as soon as you see that fumble,
exactly.
you go.
If you're ready to go, then...
I think there could be 2 here. They're going to push, they're going to push. Dada turns it down. It's fair to say that he's probably out of some of the UAE players. He's not the most nimble between the wickets, Dada.
No, I think he looks for the big shots, saves his energy.
Boughton again comes in. 1 for 3 off 1.5 overs so far. Bangs it in. High into the air. It's gone into the deep.
Oh!
Oh dear.
Simon Dunning. Great fielding. Good comeback.
It's fair to say in the space of 5 seconds there was some of Simon Dunning's best and worst fielding there.
I think he picked it up late. But a great arm. I think they were going for the steal. If he had caught it, they would have got a steal, but he dropped it, and then normal cricket rules apply. He's not happy.
But this puts the UAE in a real tough spot here at 14 for 2, with still 168 required. What do you think the tactics will be now for the remaining 2 overs of the power play, Ross?
I think the new batsman's got to set himself up, have a couple of sighters, and then just get the scoreboard ticking along, and then look for boundaries to get them above the rate, or at least with the rate, and then just set up a bit of a platform for the incoming batsman to keep the momentum going.
Before the tournament, would England have been one of the favourites to qualify out this group, or would it have? Will they have tougher tasks potentially ahead later in the week?
I think they were definitely one of the favourites. They've got some quality players. They've got. I think the key will be how they go against New Zealand. Looking at the teams yesterday, they should beat India. So they should get into the knockouts.
I was going to say if they were to get over the line here and against India, that would give them 3 wins. I think that'd probably be enough to get into at least the quarterfinals.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Just to explain to people watching, the top of each group will automatically go through to the semi-finals.
That's correct. Yeah.
And then teams 2 and 3 in each pool will go into a quarter-final.
That's correct.
So massive benefit to finish top of the group.
Yep.
And I think that's important as well, that if teams do finish top of the group, that there is a benefit for them sometimes.
Definitely.
I'm not a big fan of that, where you finish top of the group and then there's no real benefit to it.
Yeah.
When you've played all the cricket.
How about Dave Nielsen? Sort of starting to find his line and length now. Settling into a bit of a rhythm.
He's a burly lad, isn't he? He's a big lad, a local lad here. I'm sure quite a few of his friends and family have popped down or will be watching online from the Port Sunlight Cricket Club as he comes into bowl again.
Clips it down mid-wicket. Compton chasing it down.
There's a vacant area at mid-wicket there, obviously still using that extra fielder on the offside at the moment, England, so leaving quite a space for the UAE batsman to work it into the leg side. Blake van der Linde is continuing trying to save one at cover.
It's wide.
It's a wild ball from Nielsen. I think he was looking to bang it in there, it's just got stuck in the hand. It's a nice shot there, yeah.
Vacant cover, extra cover. Great fielding there by Jamie Scott. Great effort. Saved a definite boundary.
We mentioned yesterday that England have got 2 keepers in the ranks. We've got Lomas, who's currently got the gloves at the moment. We've got Jamie Carter. Do you think England will rotate that at all, or is Jamie going to be there as an option if Lomas picks up an injury?
I think that would be the last option. I think the thinking at the moment is Lomas doesn't bowl, but Carter gives you the bowling option. So that's the thinking in the brains trust at the moment. But Simon Dunning into the attack.
It's interesting from the England side that they've decided to open the bowling from this end, because they had a lot of joy from the Ron Fleet end at the moment. But they've opened up from the City end today. Maybe this is a ploy so the bowlers get a feel for both ends throughout the tournament. but Simon Dunning got some lovely shape. Just nipping a few away yesterday, managed to find the edge of one of the Scottish batsmen as well. As he comes in. A little bit of shape again. The UAE batsman just pushing it out to wide third man there. Just missing a trick, I feel, the UAE here. Obviously not playing on this pitch yesterday. That is an awful long way down into the third man area, and it's always worth pushing for 2 down there.
You've always got to be running the first one hard.
That's a very, very good shot.
Putting pressure on the fielders.
And there it is, exactly what you just mentioned there, Ross, about putting pressure on the fielders. The impressive Dil Hussain with the ball has been put under pressure. It's hit firmly into the outfield here. He's got himself in a right mess.
Not his best. Don't think he'll be showing the grandkids that one day.
It may make the end of week bloopers reel, that one. I'm sure he'll get a few in the highlights, so he won't mind that.
Well bowled. Shaping away nicely. Using the atmospheric conditions to his advantage. Got some fans there blowing the hooters. Great shot.
What's been impressive, just even in this 1 over, how after that first couple of balls, the UAE batsmen were looking to plant that front foot and really play expansively down the ground. Dunning's just dropped his length back just a couple of inches here, so all of a sudden they're just in between. There we go.
It's a great shot.
Just as he goes back to that fuller length on cue.
Yep.
He's planted down the ground. You cannot bowl that length at Chester. It's an absolute free hit.
What a great shot.
We're quite lucky here, Ross, that we've got a marquee playing at Compton just in front of us here, and we're just listening to some of the advice he's passing on to some of the England players. It's invaluable information for some of these lads.
Fantastic. Just his cricketing brain, his knowledge, and what he can pass on to these guys is unbelievable.
So what he's just for the viewers at home, he's just getting across that obviously at the moment the batters are just looking, trying to hit down the ground. He wants to bring the field a little bit straighter, maybe cut that off. Obviously with Haroon on as well, less pace on the ball. So out of the power play, three fielders on each side. They're looking to straighten the field up. Haroon going wicket to wicket.
Well bowled, good start.
One thing David Nielsen Scott brings to the England side, he's very, very good over the ground. You can see that straight away, his movement. And that's one thing I'd say from yesterday, that there was definitely opportunity for an improvement in the England side's movement in the field.
Yes.
I like it, buddy. Jay.
That was a lovely deft shot there, taking him to 17 off 7. Haroon into Kartik again, just whipped into the leg side for a single. We saw yesterday in this format how the momentum can shift quickly. England have been all over the UAE in the first couple of overs here, but just with a couple of boundaries, this partnership's building here nicely. I think he's got away with a... No, he hasn't. That's a wide ball. I think that's a good decision.
The umpires are very consistent.
Well, I think he's still got the players ringing in his ears from the LBW decision that he turned down. He's going to be watching that LBW tonight at home, I think. Yeah. Nielsen Scott may be waiting for him in the car park. Anyway, Haroon's got this field set up to bowl nice and straight here as he comes in.
Well bowled.
Lovely line and length there. Just dragged his length back a couple of inches, and that's the end of the 6th over. I'm just going to take a little break from the comms box. I'm going to leave you in charge, Ross, and I'm going to bring in founder Wayne Grieve.
Thanks, Luke. Welcome to the commentary box, Wayne Grieve.
Good morning, Ross.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing well, thanks. It's always good to join you in the commentary box.
So on the far field, we've got Sri Lanka versus the USA. I believe you've just been on that field. What's going on?
Yeah, I've just been speaking to the correspondent on pitch 2, and the USA side are 139 for 3 after 17. They've actually slowed up a bit because they were really going at around 9s and over. So Sri Lanka coming back into this. Oh, almost a sharp caught and bold chance. Is it going to be 2 here? This is great running. Good from Hashim there.
Fantastic effort by Simon Dunning. Would go down as a drop catch if we're harsh.
So for the USA viewers, Venkat 51 of 27 off the back pitch. As we watch this caught and bold chance. Oh.
Not sure that's what he was trying to do, but he'll get 4 runs.
Dunning not happy there. Got the teapot.
His teammates are applauding him. It all counts, all goes down in the scorebook.
As you see for Red in the nets, bowls his leggies. Against India later today. Scotland versus India. 2 teams lost yesterday. So Farid just getting an early warm up there. Dunning continues.
Oh, it's going to drop short. Good running.
Would you say that was a deliberate shot, Ross? Just a chip out into onside for 2?
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say yes. Don't think he wouldn't have cleared the boundary with that shot.
I've seen you play that shot quite a few times, trying to clear the ropes.
When I was 13 maybe. Saroon Khan back into the attack. Bowling a great line and length. Bowling to his field.
There's Tom Williams and Gareth Williams. They're not related, but they're representing Wales in the match against Australia next.
Well bowled, Haroon. Just tossing it up.
Straight down leg. We've got the Welsh boys walking past us for the net. Gareth, quickly say hello to the boys in Dorset.
Hi guys in Dorset, you alright?
Gareth, he's driven all the way from Dorset to be part of this tournament. He got the call up on Tuesday when Wales were invited to this tournament off the back of the Bangladeshis. Very unfortunate situation, not being able to get visas. So they're going off the net there. Oh, that's a great
by
shot.
Subu. Fantastic shot. 4 runs all the way.
That's a really good shot.
Can't fault Haroon for that. It's a good ball. Just a great cricket shot.
So USA on the back pitch, 141 for 5 after 18 overs. They're into the power play overs. They'll be looking to get up to 160 there. So this game in the balance here. The UAE guys fighting back here after losing 2 early wickets. Hashim is the key player here. Really talented batsman.
They've just steadied the ship.
Now much is required here. Adil coming in all hard. That's good from Adil.
Oh,
Directed. Oh, really good outfield. Field in there from Adil. Attacking the ball.
he's got one of the better arms in the England team. Don't
He
think
does.
they'll be running two to him again. As we were alluding to earlier, Nick Compton brings a wealth of experience and insight into each game, helping Blake van der Linde with the bowling options.
You can see Nick's getting competitive here. He's not just standing at mid-on waiting for the game to finish. He really wants to win this. As we look at the bowling figures, Adil is saying again, yesterday bowled 3 overs, 3 wickets for 4 runs. He's continued from where he left off yesterday, proving to be one of the standout bowlers of the tournament. I think if we had to look at a tournament dream team, which will be up here at the end of the day, I'm sure Adil is going to be in there.
Dunning canters in, lets it go. Short of a length and just pushed out to cover boundary.
So Compton's fielding the commentary box down here, and he's asking Dunning to keep attacking the stumps. And Dunning said, no, I'm going to push it outside off stump. Compton shot, keep attacking the stumps, so let's see where Dunning goes with this one. There we go, he's attacked the stumps. Maybe a little bit short.
Good fielding on the boundary by Nielsen.
So just for those of you who don't know, the ground slopes away. So on the onside you're hitting up the hill, to the offside you're hitting down the hill.
That's the length he needs to be bowling.
Right. If he hit that for 6, we might have not have said that, but the fact that he missed it, well justified.
But he's giving it a chance to swing.
Yeah, he's an experienced campaigner, key player in this England side. That's the length that Nick was asking him for him. That's the one attacking the stumps, bringing Nielsen Scott into the display. As we just see the Aussies walk past us, they're going off for a net. Australia versus Wales in the next game.
So it looks like Blake van der Linde coming into the attack. Bowled his seamers. He offers a lot of variation, a lot of slow balls, a lot out of the back of the hand. Balls.
Lots of chat.
On the back pitch, America just falling away at 130 after 14 overs. And now they're 143 for 6 after 19. So this is a disappointing finish for the USA side. They're really going great guns, but Sri Lankans hold some of their better bowlers for the death. So I think a few of the captains will be aware of that now when they play Sri Lanka. Got to go hard in the first 10.
Van der Linde starts with a single off the first ball of his over. Never nice to go for a boundary off the first ball.
Ross, can you just open up your shirt there? So, can you explain why you got an England top on and yesterday you had a New Zealand top on?
Well, quite simply, I'll have my New Zealand top on later when New Zealand play. But for when England play, definitely England all the way.
And what part of England or New Zealand were you born?
Born in Rhodesia in Zimbabwe. Aguelo in Zimbabwe.
Okay. So, and where did you grow up?
Grew up in Johannesburg.
And where were your grandparents born?
Scotland.
Oh, okay.
So a bit of a mixed bag.
Okay. So if you're available for selection, obviously that would never be the case, but in a hypothetical world, which country would you make yourself available for?
Whoever would pay the most.
So Nick Compton's trying to get a field adjustment. He feels Dunning should be a bit squarer, and he's waving to Jamie Carter at third man. He wants Jamie to go squarer. I think he's trying to plug the gap between third man and deep backward point. He's asking Blake to bowl straighter. He does. Brings David Nielsen Scott into the play. So Compton showing his experience here. He doesn't feel there should be any width offered. He wants them to go into the pads.
Slow ball.
That's on our heads. Be careful, yeah.
Ooh, it's a massive hit.
Malaki Scar.
I think batsman saw that slow ball coming.
Malaki Blakey.
We just heard one of the Chester Boughton Hall players saying before they got the balcony that was out, the chairman decided he wants a bigger house, and that's cost a few bowlers a few wickets over the years.
Fantastic shot. So 74 for 2 after 10. 104, 106 of 10 needed.
We've got Bose in the background. Bose is the 9th man. Bose, can you just let us know, do you have depth down the order? Both these batsmen are in their 30s, so they could be retiring if they keep going like this when the score's around 100. Do you have any batsmen?
We have a Captain Deepak Nicholas in the hut now. I mean, he'll be coming next, and
he's going to be under pressure, man. We're going to put him under pressure. This is Nick Compton on there here, down at third man, and I'm just taking a quick breather while the batsmen have a quick water break. Game's in the balance here, I think. 74 for 2 after 10 overs to go, chasing 180. Just putting the English boys under pressure. Fielding's been a bit lackadaisical, and bowling's been a bit wide. What do you think?
Fielding has been phenomenal for UAE.
Thanks, Nick. Fantastic.
Deepak Nicholas is coming next. I think the score is in balance now, 74 in 10 overs. Knowing Deepak and his hitting ability, probably this is the right platform what he has got, and he will come out blazing.
I've seen Deepak play. Surprised he's even batting 5. So UAE have got some firepower to come here. So if you're thinking of leaving this footage, don't, because this game is going to go down to the wire. It's a good bit of insight from Compton coming off the third man boundary, just providing us some analysis of how he feels the English side are going. He feels they've been given it maybe a bit too much width. He's asking them to bowl straight. Lots of arm movement down here, third man, between him and Blake. Turning continues.
Great shot. Smashed it down to long off. Adil Hussain doing the work on the boundary there.
So Hashim, 32 from 22. This is a really good cameo here.
Ooh, it's wide.
And an effort to go straight. That one just didn't swing. Sometimes that's the risk when you try and go too straight. He obviously bowls away swing, so he started that just on the leg stump, and that one didn't go. So he's going to have to readjust his line. He's bowling from the other end now, so obviously a change of end. So maybe he needs a few balls just to see if it's going to continue to swing.
Full slow ball. Full toss.
Oh no. Jamie Carter.
Body behind it. You get down.
So this is going to the wire. This is going to be a great game here. Already has been one. And the skipper Deepak Nicholas still in the hat. And he's a seriously good player. He strikes it around 200. Oh, well bowled by Daniel. You just see in the background there, the Aussie boys in the nets. That looks like Marty Henderson warming up. But Matt Angus with him. Matt Angus from Adelaide. Marty Henderson plays his cricket in Ipswich. Oh, that's the length and the line that Compton's been on looking for.
Well bowled, Simon Dunning. Good finish here over. So 81 for 2 after 11 overs. They're going to need one or two big overs just to keep the rate going.
Yeah, well, they've got wickets in hand, which is good because there was 2 early wickets. So they've really done well to keep the run rate below 12. Wickets in hand, so they've got a chance. The last 6 overs, they need 70 to win. You never know.
So the rate is 102 from 45 balls. Good start to the over by Blake van der Linde. Bowling to his field.
So the next game here, Australia versus Wales. We know that a lot of guys just finished work out in Australia. They'll be eagerly looking to see how Australia go in their next match, needing to get their tournament off to a good start. They've lost their first one. It's early days. The score moves on to 83. Trent Thompson is watching from Australia. He says, great fight back from UAE. I agree with you, Trent.
It's another wide.
Lewis Davies, the local umpire. He signals wide.
Oh,
Heaved away. Khan's down there. Well fielded from Khan. Swing and a miss.
Took the words out of my mouth, Wayno.
I saw them coming. We've both been watching too much cricket on TV. They both
Exactly.
come up with their own lines.
That bat speed, I think he could blow the clouds away.
It's nice and original, Ross.
Good comeback here from Blake van der Linde. Finished it over well. Every dot ball here is adding more pressure to the UAE batsman. That's Dave Nielsen-Scott back into the attack.
His first 2 overs went for 16. He's in the side for his bowling, but he's got the X factor with the bat. I think as the tournament goes on, I think his batting is going to be a key factor for him. Well, that's the line that Compton wants. Into the pads. He's the youngest member of this England squad. One of the older teams in the tournament. So Dave brings some much needed youth to the team.
Yeah, I think there's a good balance in the England team between youth and experience. You've got guys that have been around the traps for years. Well bowled. And the experience that the youngsters will get from the older guys is invaluable.
And thank you for Dean Curry. He's given us a new comment here. Big swing, no ding. I like that. Thanks, Dean. He's just changed his pace there, Nielsen-Scott. Still off spinner there. So this is going to give the England camp a lot of confidence to see David Nielsen-Scott making his debut, delivering with the bat and now delivering with the ball. His father Tim will be very proud of him.
bowled.
Really good over from David Nielsen Scott. That's probably the most animated I've ever seen him in his life. So, the skipper, Deepak, the stage is set.
It's another wicket for England.
Good slow ball cutter. Been working on that one in the nets. It's always good to see when you've tried a lot of things and it worked there. Watch his fingers just roll behind the ball, yeah. So Deepak Nicholas. Doesn't really have much time to get in. The run rate required above 12 now. That won't phase him. He's not the type of player that likes to nurdle the ball. He's a clean hitter. And he scores all around the wicket. So a good knock there from Hashim. Just got a bit bogged down there in that last over, and I think that ultimately cost him his wicket.
You and I were lucky enough to play with him in Sri Lanka when we set up LMS there. Nice guy, good cricketer.
Very good cricketer, and always good company off the field as well.
Okay, Blake van der Linde. Oh.
Nielsen Scott, take a run.
Great fielding. Only one.
So Deepak Nicholas said, I've been watching for a long time. I'm not prepared to run a 2. I'm going to get straight into this. There's definitely 2 there, but he's decided that he
Well, Slicky, it's like me. It's my
wanted to go from the
That's my
offset.
tactics of fielding. Let the others run.
So one of his favourite shots is sort of the flick to the leg side. So I think he might be targeting the area between mid-on and deep mid-wicket.
Well bowled, good length there.
Hey, do you want a bit of water? No. Sure. This is good, man.
It's difficult for Deepak. He's just come in. He knows the run rate required is now climbing every ball. Probably needs to just have a look at 1 or 2 before he goes, just to get used to the pace of the wicket. That's heaved away. That's David
That's
Nielsen.
a great catch.
He's got buckets of hands down there.
Jeez, that's a fantastic catch on the boundary.
That's it, buddy. Come on, England.
He looked like he was catching a fly there.
Plucked it out the air. Fantastic catch.
That's a great
Great
catch.
shot. He had the presence of mind to be going for the double play too, Wayne.
He's played a lot of last man stands cricket, so he's aware there. He's got a good arm as well.
So, new batsman's got his work really cut out for him now. Mountain to climb.
Just also another factor the UAE boys need to look at, Jabose, is the bonus points. It looks like, without writing them off totally, it looks like the 180 target might be a challenge. They might need to start looking at losing bonus points. I don't know if that's something that they're talking about in the shed there. But 20% of 180, need the mathematicians out there, what, at 155, around there. They're going to need to try and get themselves the losing bonus points. Don't think we've got much chance from here to win the game.
Whoa, it's a harsh call from the umpire.
We'll see if the replay, we'll get a replay here. Lewis Davies hasn't made any mistakes yet in the tournament. So I'm backing him here to have got that right.
Van der Linde doesn't look happy with that.
He never does. He never does that.
Another run against his stats. Well, that's better. You bowl there, umpire won't call wide.
So for those of you at home that don't know, the team that wins the game gets 6 points. And then there's the 2 bonus points. Just a flick off his legs. Haroon Khan comes in. Throw to the non-striker. That's good running. So they're losing bonus points. I think that's going to be around 155. The team that wins the game gets 6 points, and then there's 2 points on offer. So you can either win the game with 8 points, or you win it with 6 points. So if UAE post a score under 1, I think it's about 155, they'll walk away with no points from the game, and England will get 8. But if they manage to get above 155, England will get 6 points from this game, and UAE will get 2. And considering there's a lot of cricket to come, that's an important factor. So I think the UAE boys need to have a look at that. There's still a lot to play for in this game.
The bonus points could be the difference between qualifying for finals day or not. So, like you say, important to try and get as much out of the game as you can.
A good comeback spell from Nielsen Scott Jane. His first spell was a little bit wayward, but now he's decided just to focus on line and length, and he's bowling quite a few cutters into the wicket.
So England tomorrow have got New Zealand, which
It's a great shot.
should be a good game. Be a battle between 2 Middlesex pros. James Franklin against Nick Compton at 6 o'clock on Tuesday evening. Be a fantastic spectacle.
Yeah, talking of James Franklin, he's making his LMS debut tonight, isn't he?
Yes, he arrives. He arrives this afternoon, and he's playing New Zealand, Pakistan at 6 o'clock, and that will also be a big game with Abdul Razak in fine form at the moment. 2 great all-rounders in their own right.
And yeah, Abdul Razak, the last ball he's faced, he's got 12 runs off it. I don't know if you witnessed his home run yesterday, Ross. Big match temperament.
No, I didn't, but I heard about it. The New Zealand boys have been at home studying all the footage, getting their game plans ready for tonight.
And what are those game plans? Where they're going to bowl to him?
Just a bowl, try hit Yorker length. Don't let him free his arms, because they all know he hits it well, and just keep the pressure on him.
Do they have a plan B?
Plan B would be to get him out as soon as possible, and probably try to keep him off strike.
I think they're going to need a plan B, because he doesn't. There's not many areas that you can bowl without him executing. He hits all around the wicket. It's nice to see all the country flags there on the balcony.
So if you're in the area, please come down and support. Fantastic facility to watch cricket.
So you see Marcus North in the background there with the rugby ball.
Not sandpaper.
He's doing a bit of Aussie rules punching of the ball. Sam Lang practicing the nets. And
That's a fantastic strike.
That's on the covers in the second field.
Amir's not going to waste any time. He said he's tired of watching from the side. He's going to take the matters into his own hands here. Bit of pressure on Dave Nielsen now.
It's another slow ball, but this time Amir picks it. So what's Dave going to do?
He's bowled the same ball.
That's bigger.
That's gone over. The cameraman was in danger there, but he's ducked. Fantastic shot.
So
balls, please. Cool. He's pushed it down leg for wide. That's the over.
That's a huge over for UAE. That brings them in with an outside chance. All of a sudden, you never know. 74 required from 26, from 25. So Ross, I know you're going to be leaving us now. Are you happy where your England team is?
I am. I think they've got enough experience here to close the game out, Wayne.
And what time of the day will you swap your England shirt for your New Zealand shirt?
Well, as soon as the New Zealand team get you. Thanks, Wayne.
Hi, Grievo.
Welcome back, Lee. The comp dog happy with that delivery. He went wide, so Nick's giving us some insight down here at third man. Where's he going here? Next one, Nick. He's going to mix it up. Yeah, he's right. A little bit of a reverse swing. England player's been bouncing the ball into the wicket here. All legal, of course. Reverse swings coming into this game. And the limit to continue.
Well, Grievo, this game's certainly changed since I left 5 overs ago.
Yeah, it looked like the UAE boys had no chance. Still a tall ask from here, but remember the last ball of the innings you hit it for 6 is 12, so we've got 20 balls to try and get to 57. 57 off the next 20, so almost 3 a ball. David Nielsen's just plucked that out there. That's brilliant fielding.
Fielding, Dave. That's awesome, bud. Come on, England.
Everyone
Put it back
seems
up
to have
again here, lads.
a favourite player, Wayno, when they're commentating. Mine's Amir Khan. Striking at 340. Got a good wicket before. Anyone in particular on the England side that you seem to have took your fancy so far here?
Have a look. I'll go Adil. Aggressive. He's been outstanding over the last 2 days. He hasn't stopped one cleanly in the outfield yet, but when he's got the ball in his hands, he's unbelievable.
His economy rate so far in this World Series is something else.
Yeah, and he's also picked up wickets to go with it as well. I think he's already picked up 4 wickets.
I think this is a bit of a stick or twist move here from the England side, Haroon Khan. Because the UAE batsmen are coming really, really hard here. Required run rate up at 17, which is obviously a lot of runs. They will be looking at that losing bonus point score.
That's actually a massive factor in this game now. I was alluding to it earlier, Nick, but I mean the team that wins the game gets 6 points, and then there's a massive 2 points swing on offer. So if UAE don't get to around 155, England will walk away with 8, and the UAE will walk away with 0. If they can manage to get above 1.5, they can pick up 2 points from the game and narrow the gap there. So I think they'll be well aware of that in the change room there. It's heaved away.
I think as England captain here, obviously you'd want to be trying to keep the boundaries right down, ensuring that that losing bonus point isn't gained by the UAE. Haroon there just forcing it into the wicket. There's quite a big gap on the leg side. That's much better length.
Let's see if Adil gets one cleanly. Yes, Adil.
The UAE guys are very, very animated on the side here. Obviously very aware of the importance of
Who's bowling now, Blake?
every run.
Go, Eddie! Now I can go fine, right?
So coming up after this game, Grievo, who have we got?
We've got Wales versus Australia. Wales have got 2 replacements. One of them is Dave Hurst, which might surprise a few local viewers, but Dave's Welsh grandparents, and the Welsh squad looking to add some experience and local knowledge to their team. You know a bit about Dave Hurst. You've probably played against him a few times. Can you tell us a bit about Dave?
Well, Dave's a fantastic cricketer. He had quite a long stint on the Lancs Academy, played a lot of Lancs second team cricket in his younger days, and has played for Neston pretty much his whole career, except a little stint down in London when he attempted to be a big fish in the big smoke. But he's back home now, and just speaking to him off air, he's very, very excited for representing his grandmother, who comes from Holywell. And the Welsh team today, he's going to add a real bit of quality to their batting lineup. I watched him score 150 in a T20 final last year for Neston, and he's a very, very dangerous cricketer.
He is. He's good, and he's got a good cricket brain as well. So, and he's also played quite a bit of LMS cricket as well. So, I know that he'll add a lot of experience, but also the will to win.
The only slight negative for the Welsh side from yesterday, they've Tom Blackwell, who retired. He's unavailable today, and Darren Leach, who bowled very well, he's unavailable due to work as well. So obviously adding David and
I think it's Dion Holder comes in, I think.
And to be fair, we're probably underselling Dion, because I know Dion's a fine cricketer in his own right.
I've never seen him play, but I've heard good things about him. I think he's played minor counties, hasn't he? He's played for Morgan too, hasn't he?
He has, and I know that Ian Martin, the Welsh captain, obviously has a development role in Wales. He was very excited to have Dion on board, and to add David as well. And I know there's 1 or 2 other Welsh players that may be able to come in and strengthen the side throughout the week.
It's a superb shot, just using the pace. So there's still something to play for in this game. I don't know what 20% of 183 is. Could viewers please tell us what that is? I think it's around 155. So that's a key figure. 157, Lee thinks. Oh, that's dabbed away.
Well, we've waited nearly 2 days to see Adil Hussain concede a boundary, and we've seen 2 in 2 balls here.
Yeah, there's still nothing in front of square, but you could probably with the deal get, well, I actually do, I've almost got a 2/3 men, yeah. Got 2/3 men now. I think with the deal you're better off just bowling him 4 through with the power play overs, get a 4-2 field. Keep him bowling to his strengths. He's gone a bit straighter there now. That's well adjusted from a deal. And Muhammad Ali's watching. Muhammad is a former teammate of Adil. Outstanding cricketer. I think he's retired from the game, but he's played a lot for Team Manchester with Adil, alongside Imran Mirza. So they'll be proud to see their old teammate representing England, and representing England very well.
I must admit, when you said Muhammad Ali, Wayne, I was thinking we had quite a famous ex-boxer contacting us then. So no, it's great. So many people are contacting us on Facebook. Make sure you get your comments in there. Let us know whether you're enjoying the cricket or anything you've picked up on the action. Haroon Khan continues here, 2 overs to go. Required run rate up at 26. That looks very, very out.
Lewis is given the nod. He gave him out with his head first and then the finger. It's nothing worse than seeing the nod of the umpire before the finger comes up. The Aussie boys are just walking through here. Can we get a quick announcement on the team? Is there any changes? Who's coming into the squad?
Matty Angus is coming in, and Hayden Page is coming in as well.
Okay, so for those of you in Australia wanting to know the team list, for those of you in Adelaide, Matt Angus is coming in and Hayden Page is coming in. Steve Emmett. And we're just going to bring Steve Emmett in for 2 words. Steve, can you just tell us, we know that we've got Hayden Page coming in, and we've got Matt Angus, who's been not left out, but who's sitting out for this game.
Yeah, so we've got Puri and Nathan Tyrrell are having a rest today. Tiz has got a bit of a sore shoulder, so that one works well, and Puri, just the rotation policy.
Okay, and is there going to be a change into the batting line? I thought Sam Lang was batting too low at 6.
We have discussed that, and Langy will certainly not be batting that low in any further games. He's probably going to be 3 or 4.
Okay.
And depending what the bowling's like, we're going to put Northie up the order too.
Okay, well, the Welsh listeners or the Welsh captains just listen in. Can you give us any other information on the batting lineup?
Top secret, that's all.
Marcus North, where will he be batting?
Probably opening.
Okay.
Yep.
So for those of you in Australia, what's the time there now, Steve?
It's coming up to 9 o'clock, I think.
Okay, so stay tuned. Marcus North going to be opening batting. They haven't done the toss yet, but that's going to be a good game. Don't underestimate the Welsh. This is a strong Welsh side in the next game. They're going to learn a lot from their first game. This could be one of the games of the day. Thanks, Steve, and good luck.
Thanks, Wayne.
Nick Compton shouting, no pressure.
Come on.
There's a chance out in the deep here.
Cool. So Adil, he struggled in the field, but in the bowling as well as he does, he gets away with that.
That's the one thing about LMS, though, Wayno, the fact that on a Saturday you can certainly maybe manoeuvre some of the non-fielding bowlers around.
Well, just would like to get a reason why Nick Compton's hiding down at 3rd man here. Maybe he could be in the spotlight a bit there. Deal's struggling out there. I think he's struggling to pick the ball up. I think we can maybe get some insight from Nick in a few minutes. He's just speaking to the Aussie manager, Steve Emmett.
So as we start towards coming to the final over of this match, needing 49, even with the home run, it wouldn't be enough. So England will be successful in this group game.
Looks like Nigel Collins has joined us. Is that the same Nigel Collins from New Zealand that got 91 of 29 yesterday?
Little nudge into the offside from DJ. Solid work by Carter in the outfield. 4 balls to go here. So England will be really happy with today's work, Wayne. That'll be 2 from 2 from them, and they'll have the rest of the day to recuperate and enjoy.
They'll be top of the table because they've won both their games with the bonus points as well. So they really got a nice cushion now. But they'll want to finish top of the group because the team that wins the group goes straight through to the semi-finals. 2nd and 3rd have to play quarter-finals. So it's going to be a grueling last day to have to play 3 games to win the world. Oh, that's huge.
That's a massive, massive hit out to the long leg side boundary. And that's 6 for Khan. And with the football nets in the background and the potential of England winning 2 games, is there a potential, Wayne, for the World Series to be coming home?
It's not a term I particularly enjoyed this summer, if I'm honest. Everything was coming home. But I think it's early days. There's a lot of strong teams just in this group. Just getting out of this group is going to be a good achievement. Nick Compton's asked a valid question. Has the bonus point gone? I think England still got the bonus point here. A home run here could get them the bonus point.
Yeah, it is. It's this ball. Home run does it.
Oh.
And a run out as well. Just on that, does Hussein get points for that as part of his man of the match? Or does it not?
In terms of
individual run-outs?
No, not yet. But that's something our statisticians and our RT guys are working on. It's only been 3-4 years that we've been doing live scoring, so we haven't been able to, in the past, with a manual score sheet, capture every run-out. But that is something that we actually record in the system, so it'd be nice to have some fielding stats and fielding rankings in the future. Yeah, it's a good question, Lee. So team's just coming around shaking their hands. Nick Darby-Welsh, the captain, left himself out of this game. He decided to bring in the young David Nielsen-Scott. And it's paid dividends. Now we're on the back pitch here. America versus Sri Lanka. This game's coming to an end. Just going to get an update on the scorecard. Oh, Sri Lanka going great guns here. 88 for 1 after 6.4 overs. Only chasing 140. It looks like a Ajanta Mendes is at the crease. Chasing 147 to win. Ajanta Mendes is on fire. Yesterday, if I stand corrected, I think he got 50 yesterday. He's on 23 of 8 there on the back pitch.
He didn't quite get to retirement yesterday when he was given out. He wasn't overly happy with the decision, but we watched it back and it was a good decision from the umpire. But they've got a very, very strong batting lineup. Diowan, 28 not out, he did well yesterday. Solomons was in fine form as well, 39 off 13, strike rate of 300. That back pitch is absolutely brutal for the bowlers. And then obviously Mendes is 23 off 8 at the moment. Just looking at that first innings while we're watching on.
Who was the pick of the batsman there for the England side? I think Compton's knock was a special one. 49 for 23. Speaking to Nick Darby-Welsh, and obviously he was very pleased that Nick got to 49, but Nick felt Nick maybe showed a lack of LMS experience there because they were 2 down, and him getting to the hat 50 not out would have been quite important. So I think Nick Compton will learn from that. He's admitted actually during the welcome function that he's going to be learning as this tournament goes on. So I think the next time he gets to 49, he might just nudge one for a single to ensure they've got an insurance policy.
The actual key partnership in that game for England was actually the final partnership between David Nielsen-Scott. I've got a few apologies to make there. I kept on calling him Scott Nielsen, and I've had a little bit of a haranguing on social media from the local area. It wasn't deliberate, lads, and I'm sorry if I upset any of his friends and members of the Port Sunlight Cricket Club. But his partnership with Adil Hussain at the end was absolutely fantastic, and really just kicked England on to a score which really was unattainable for the UAE after they lost some early wickets.
We're going to be going shortly across to the post-match interviews where Nick Compton will be interviewing Blake van der Lit and Deepak Nicholas.
Includes a scintillating game here in this day 2 of this Last Man Stands World Series. What a game to get off to. England narrowly finishing off the UAE in what was a very close encounter. I'm going to bring in Nicholas, the captain of the UAE. You guys got off to a good start, not bad with the ball. How did you see it after that?
I thought we were in the game till midway, but then after the 10th over, I think England were really in the game. They were just cutting the ball through, and we're just missing the line.
Sometimes you have to sort of match brawn with a few 2s and 1s and stuff. Maybe just try to hit the ball a little bit too hard.
Yeah, we were trying to slog for everything. I don't think that's what LMS is. The notion is LMS is just bang bang. It's not really bang bang. You've got to think it out and put some skill to it. So we will improve.
I think we had a bit of struggle with some of the spinners. I think you had your off spinner was turning it a long way, and that looked like it almost did for us.
Yes, but then players like yourself, not easy to bowl to you, so you just took the game away. But I think fantastic cricket opportunity for all of us, and from the place where we come, where the temperature is 50 degrees, I also think the weather, we need some time to acclimatize, but I think we'll get back.
Absolutely. Well, you guys are very strong, so we'll see you later on in the competition. Well done. I'm going to bring in my partner, our captain of the England team. Good start. Second day, another win.
Yeah, 2 wins on the bounce. Really good to have. I think today was a little bit different compared to the Scotland game. Obviously, we know the Scottish game was affected. It was really, really tough with the sun. But today, I think the thing was the spinners from the UAE probably dictated a bit. I think because we play a lot of our cricket and LMS over here on Astro in the early season, there's a lot of hard hands, a lot of pressing forward. If you need an example, just look at my show reel of batting there. But it's a day-old pitch. I think we had 5 games on yesterday, 4 games on today. I think it's going to be challenging. I think throughout the day the spinners are going to come in a lot more. But From an England side, I think we backed ourselves. We've got one great spinner, but I think we all do a little bit with the ball, and we asked the questions there. We started strong, and as the guy said, at the change of ends, we just tightened up. As you said, let's hit the lines, let's hit the stumps a little bit more, and we asked the right questions.
Well, that was brilliant, Blake. He summed it up quite rightly there. England well on top with a bonus point, so we're pretty chuffed. We've got a day off. We've got an action-packed day. I think we've got Wales playing Australia next, so that should be an absolute cracker. So tune in. Cheers.